Good evening. While we don't invite hospital visits because it's so time consuming, from Belfast, for example, to Killarney takes probably 8 hours on the road. And of course, spend some time with the patient, maybe half an hour, and of course there's the journey back, which is a further 8 hours. But I suppose last Sunday, the 17th, was a little bit different. Perhaps we were called or invited by a family to attend the Tullamore Hospital. And on arrival, we met the family, Dan's family. Dan had a stroke, I think about 8 weeks previous to our visit, and had very, very little movement, if any, on his left side. Left arm, left leg, could move the toes slightly. Just about noticeable, in fact, and while we were watching and while I was healing, there was a number of people with us. I think the family and 2 or 3 others. And we all witnessed what the family call a miracle. As I worked with Dan and asked him to lift his left leg, the one that was paralyzed, to everyone's surprise and shock, he lifted it, maybe quite high. I don't know what distance, but if you're looking at the table being here, he lifted it perhaps this high. For the first time in 8 weeks. Everyone was shocked. And his 2 sons were present, and they came in several times and checked with us. Checked with Da. Lift your leg, Da. And Da lifted his leg. How do you accept this? It's very, very difficult for someone with no knowledge about this gift to be able to accept that someone who has a serious stroke or whatever and get instant relief. We've done this in hospitals and clinics all over the country. There are a number of cases on record, also testimonials from the families of the patient. I want to emphasize to you that this is not a therapy. Therapists don't do this type of work. This type of work involves a lifetime of practice. It takes years of dedication and focus to be able to do this type of work. I'm not criticizing your therapies out there, they're wonderful, but this is beyond therapy. On Sunday evening, we called to Dungarvan Hospital to see Dino. To see Dino in the aftermath of his injury, a serious injury, where he was almost paralyzed from the hips down. In fact, doctors told him that if he moved, he would be paralyzed. His L3, I think, and maybe L4 were crushed as a result of an accident. Surgery was suggested, I believe, for the following morning in Dublin. But during our visit, together with his family and friends, we witnessed something extraordinary from my work. First of all, Dino's pain vanished. And he said, "This is incredible." But the incredible was yet to come. Mum and Dad and friends were there, and they asked Dino to turn over, was he in pain or what have you, and he did as they asked, without pain. And suddenly he sat up in the bed for the first time since the accident. And you know, shock of shocks, he stood up on the floor and walked around, to the amazement of everyone present, including myself, I must say. But it was great to see. He went back to bed again after a few minutes, got up again, sat in a chair, and the family were in absolute shock. Couldn't believe it. Saying, "Have you pain, Dino?" He said, "No, I don't. I don't have pain. How do you feel?" "I feel fine. I don't know what to say. I'm shocked." I'm sure the poor nurses were shocked when they saw him walk around. And the following morning, when the doctor came to see him, they discharged him. No surgery. What do you think, folks? This is a true account of a young man of 20-something who was in serious pain. Lucky he wasn't paralysed. And I think he was warned by the doctors that if he moved, there was perhaps a danger that he would be paralysed. And so, the following morning, family contacted us and said Dino was discharged and is now out and about feeling fine. And I think he's due a visit to us sometime during the week. That was Sunday the 17th. On Tuesday the 19th at the Maldron Hotel in Dublin, a young lady came to us with numbness and no feeling in her leg. I'm not sure which leg. She couldn't stand or put weight on this leg. There obviously was a back problem some 5 years previous, and since then I think there was no feeling and very little movement and a lot of pain. And I think she said to me, "Look, if you can get me going, there's nothing that I wouldn't do." And so, after 10 or 15 minutes of work, the feeling came back first. And she said to me, the pain has gone. Her hubby and brother were also present and shocked. And they said, look, she hasn't walked like this or felt like this for 5 years. What did you do? Well, we had a couple of texts, I think, today saying that this young lady was able to stand, walk, go up on her tippy toes. And I think as a football coach, maybe they're asking her back to training. Maybe that's a little bit down the road, but it was great to see this young lady go out pain-free, and we were chuffed with the text that we had in the past few days. Now, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 3 days. Families are calling these as 3 miracles. I don't know. What do you think, guys? This is my job. This is what I do. It doesn't happen all the time for everyone. But why doesn't it? Why has it happened, in your opinion, guys, for these 3 people, and it hasn't happened for Joe Blogg or Mary Rose? Maybe you can write to me and tell me what you think. My views on it may be that these people wanted to be healed. Others come to us and say, after 1 treatment, I'm in more pain than I was before. Why is that the case? I don't know. I don't know all the answers. We have young ladies and gents who travel all over the country to see us. From Donegal to Kerry to Tipperary to Galway, Athlone. These people want to get better. They devote their whole attention to travelling to where we are so that we can work with them. These are the people with serious illness that want to get better, that have the desire and the need to improve. Sometimes we get calls from people who live 20 miles up the road and say, oh, that's too far. And yet, on the other hand, we have people travelling from India, from Italy, from Spain, from the UK, Australia, Europe, and they want to get better. They put in the effort to get better. Do you? People who've never been to us and perhaps never will and know nothing whatsoever about the work that I do criticise. They say that this can't happen, that this is a scam. Well, we have between 700 and 1,000 videos with testimonials all up there. There's none of them a scam. They're all genuine. We don't pay people to do videos. We do videos without preparation, off the cuff, to help you to decide and to look at your illness and for you to evaluate what you need to do in order to get healed. It happens too often that people with addictions come to us for one session and they don't get healed because they don't want to do anything about their lifestyle or change their lifestyle. They want to be healed and yet continue with their addiction. That doesn't work. That won't work. If we tell you to change your lifestyle and your lifestyle is causing you a problem, perhaps you need to look at that aspect of your life and change it. Will you do that? If your doctor tells you to give up junk food or whatever, and you don't do it, you can't blame your doctor. But you come to me and say, oh, my doctor is no good. He didn't cure me, I've been going to him for 10 years. And I tell him exactly the same. I say, well look, you've got to give up what Doc has told you. If you're not prepared to do that, then you're wasting your time and your money and mine. And if you knew what my schedule was like, you wouldn't want to waste my time because it's 24/7. But I enjoy this work. It's what I do. Like I said earlier, it takes a lifetime of experience to do this job. I am the one in my family that can do it, and perhaps when I'm finished with it, a member of my family will take it over. Who'd want to take over a job that starts maybe sometimes at 4 in the morning and finishes at 12 at night? Would you want that for yourself? You wouldn't be able to socialise. I can't either. I devote my whole attention to my work. And I've given you some of the results which are true and genuine. And if you're at a stage of evolution where you can accept the truth, this is the truth as it was, as it is. Good night to you, and thank you for listening.